What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week Zero podcast.
Already open, running out of time, finally thrown, and it is gone! Touchdown, Tyrell Roberts! Hit backwards, up in the air, it's on the ground, it is down, it is over, and the Irish have knocked off number one Clemson.
Herbert's got it. Stiff arm again. Quarterback in the clear. Inside the 10. A hat-trick of touchdown from Justin Herbert.
Can't have a Week Zero podcast.
There's the way you
without,
can't. Exactly. And meanwhile, my computer's being super slow all of a sudden. So, without further ado, coming to you live from the basement in Millersville, Maryland. This is the Week Zero podcast. I am your host, Connor, filming with all the copium Doherty. I am back home. Came home to see Hamilton last night. So that was pretty cool in Baltimore.
Nice.
So, to my left is Ryan, Irish still own Vegas Fravel, who is back on the Irish bandwagon.
No, I'm not. I literally only said that because we are 2-0 when we play teams from Vegas or in Vegas.
There you go. And then, of course, you're suffering as a Broncos fan. And below us is Lucas, UCLA Bluets, McKnight. I feel like you could have done a better pun there with the Bruins there somehow. Because Bluets doesn't
Connor,
really rhyme.
Bruins.
I went with the Bluets rather than the Bruins because they blew it. Okay,
whatever.
I don't think I could have gone any other way, and I think you're just honestly a hater because you're wearing that Virginia Tech jersey right now.
Oh no, that's you. Of course, Ryan's like dress up as like something for Halloween, and I'm like, I've got nothing because I'm coming home. And I'm like, I'm just gonna throw on my VT
You know
jersey
what?
because
I was gonna wear this, but
that's just weird. No,
Yep.
So just don't. So, but I mean, I'm a VT. I'm being a VT fan, which means that's one of the worst things you can be. I moved back home into a house where Nebraska fan lives with me. Colorado fan lives with me. We just had Tennessee move out recently. They've been doing pretty well. So they moved out. They found somebody. Miami's moved back in because they broke up with somebody. So
I got an Illinois fan. I got an Illinois fan that lives with me.
You do realize I'm totally joking.
No, I am. I know I am.
Notre Dame is slowly making their way. They're right now at Home Depot making the keys for your apartment to move into the
no.
team.
I gave them my key, and they have to go get a copy, and then they have to come back to move in with us. They get the basement. No, I get the basement. They get upstairs. It's organized based on the actual how bad the team is. So, but yeah. So how you guys doing? Ready for Halloween? Ready to take your newborn daughter trick or treating, Lucas?
She ain't going trick or treating.
What about you? What about you, Ryan? You ready to take your daughter?
She's going as she was either going as a ghost or like she calls it a ghost because she struggles with she? She's about 4. But she's still struggling with syllables, so for her, ghost
we can't see. Your eyes are like being cut off.
Oh my god! Okay, hold up, I got it. But no, she's struggling.
It's just the whole thing. It's just like.
But she's struggling right now with like syllables and stuff. So for her, a ghost means dosed. So it's either between being a dosed or Mickey Mouse.
Gotcha.
So she's being Mickey Mouse.
Well, she would have called it like Hickey Mouse or something.
She calls it Mitchy Mouse. So
there you go. It's just okay. Let's get into it real quick. So, God, my computer's just being my laptop's being so slow.
You want me to do the banners?
I guess because I'm like double clicking everything.
I got it.
So what's going? So, best and worst thing you saw in week 8. Kind of crazy. We are already well past the midway point of college football. Meanwhile, the NFL is. Within the next 2 weeks, we'll pass the midway point as well. It's really, once the season's underway, it goes by so much quicker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
It feels like July, like April, May, July, June, August. Like it
feels like it takes forever to get, and then And then baseball, of course, is going on, and that takes forever as well. So, okay, Lucas, what was the best thing you saw?
Best thing I saw, probably some guys from my hometown where I wasn't born there because I was born in McMinnville, but lived the first couple of years of my life in Sheridan, Oregon, and a couple of those guys from Sheridan actually won the sign contest at College Game Day. We got to hang out with Dan Lanning and a few of the coaches and stuff, which was really, really cool. Got to take a picture with Lee Corso because the picture, I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but it was
I don't think you did.
It was Lee Corso putting the duck head on, but it was like an automated sign. So like it was a moving sign of Lee Corso putting the duck head on, which is really cool.
Okay. That's fantastic.
Lee Corso always puts the duck head on if he's at
I feel like Lucas. I feel like him and Puddles got something going on behind the scenes.
Dude, I mean, it's always
definitely
thing.
I mean, Corso has also said, like, I don't think he's every time he's been at VT, I think he's always picked VT because the first time he was there in 1999, the game got
three
rained.
times.
Shut up. They've been there plenty more times. But in 1999, they were playing and they were there, and he didn't pick VT to win, and then the game got rained out or something, and his Lee Corso's rental car got struck by lightning twice. So he took it as a sign from God to never pick against the Hokies ever again. So he always picked the Hokies no matter what happened whenever he was at VT. So,
well, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to even have the chance again in his lifetime.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Ryan, what was the best thing you saw?
So really quick, shout out to my boy Sean over at the Two Irish Brothers. That's the guy I do the Notre Dame thumbnails and everything for.
Nice.
We do the Irish.
Glad he's here. Glad you're supporting us, Sean. I appreciate it.
So the best thing I saw, because I feel like, I'm just saying it for me, but anytime Texas A&M loses, it's a win for everybody. The best thing I saw was South Carolina storming the field because they beat Texas A&M for the first time in program history. So that would have to be the best thing I've seen. Beamer ball. It's now a thing in South Carolina.
Beamer ball is back, baby. No, we literally called it. So I covered I covered a football game on Friday, and there was a punt blocked that was returned for a touchdown in the game I covered. And the team's name, the team mascot, they're the Beavers. So we call it Beaver Beamer Ball on the script and stuff. And we got some good responses to that. They enjoyed that. So I guess it's Ben the other guy, Sean and Ben.
Yep.
Ben sends
Those are the Two Irish Brothers over there.
Yep. Quite
Hey,
literally.
since we have the Irish fans in here, you guys know that the first ever College Game Day was in South Bend.
Wait, really?
Between Notre Dame and who?
Oh,
1993.
Florida State, right?
Notre Dame and Florida State, yeah.
What year?
1 versus 2. 1993.
What the fuck is that sound?
What sound? I don't hear
I got somebody working on the roof over here, I guess.
So I would say the best thing I saw for me was okay. Now there's suddenly major feedback all of a sudden from I think Lucas.
Oh, there we go. It's better. You're good.
That's better. I don't know what just happened.
Anyway, go ahead, Connor.
Oh god damn it! You made me forget. Not South Carolina.
The worst thing that you saw?
No, the best thing. Ryan, I was thinking of it, and then Ryan started talking about something else, and it threw me off, and I completely forgot.
You were talking about game day.
Well, not that, but I mean, no. But as you were talking about, what was I going to say? Oh no, the comeback for TCU. Since we all picked TCU, we were all about to lose a point there, and I was like, shit.
It doesn't.
Exactly, pretty much. So they're like, I don't know why. They kind of remind me a little bit of like, I feel like this would be a dig, but it kind of reminds me a bit of 2016 Tennessee, where they're getting by everybody by the skin of their teeth, and then they finally and they lose like a close one on the road at a good Texas A&M team. Tennessee did. I just feel like TCU. Yeah, that's really weird. But yeah, I think TCU is kind of pushing the envelope of how much you can kind of get good luck for you, but seems to be working for them. And but those teams always, whenever you have a team like that makes it to like a playoff or makes it far in like even in like basketball, if they make it far in March Madness, you're just like, you just totally know, you just have this feeling that eventually the luck's going to run out, like 2 steps away from the ultimate goal and stuff. And that's usually what happens because
a lot of those teams didn't have a player like Max Duggan.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Duggan's
like
beast.
Max Duggan's he's taking a sweet ass time trying to get back into it or trying to bring the team back because they're all messing up and stuff.
They were the worst team that day.
What,
easily.
Versus Oklahoma State?
Yeah, both games. I think they were the worst team in both games. Especially the Kansas State game. Like that one was a blowout with their backup quarterback, and then he gets hurt, and then the third string quarterback, who obviously, I'm sure he got absolutely trashed last night. He was hanging out with cheerleaders, like, oh, I'm never gonna play. I'm the third string. I'm basically Alex Moraning it from Blue Mountain State. Like, I'm never gonna play. And then he got thrown into a crappy situation, and TCU just took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the worst thing you guys saw?
Worst thing? Honestly, I'm gonna say, even though I don't not like Clemson, I want to say Syracuse blowing that game. They really had it. I mean, they had it from start to almost finish.
But they didn't score a point in the second half. They couldn't score all of a sudden.
And they were stopping Clemson from scoring too, but then once Cade Klubnik came in, they rattled off like I think 16 straight. And
it's not
but
like,
it wasn't like
it's not like Cade was throwing. He threw
I was gonna say
he threw like 4 passes and was just handing the ball.
I know, but it's the Ryan Tannehill effect. You know, like he comes in and then it just gives.
It's like It's like when Chase Bryce came in for Trevor Lawrence and they came back and won that game.
Chase Bryce was actually good in that game though, but like
it's weird.
It's just the spark. It's just the spark that he gave to them when he came in, and then Shipley found running lanes. Offensive line started doing better, and
was this Phil?
Yeah, that's Phil. Yeah.
It throws me because he has a different. He has both a different, slightly different.
Yeah, he did.
It's a sweet logo.
Shout out to my boy Phil because he's been shouting us out on his channel. He actually reached over 120 subs.
Nice.
So his thing's starting to blow up. So, but shout out to Phil. But it's not like it's to me. It's like it almost makes me wonder if the Clemson locker room, they heard all the noise before the season that DJ may not. A lot of people didn't think DJ was going to make it throughout the entire season. Cade should start in week 3, week 4.
But
it's like it almost makes you wonder if there's like some division in the locker room in Clemson where it's like, oh, we don't really think DJ's the guy.
My question is, so I'm going to go. Sorry for cutting you off, but I'm just going to go straight into my worst thing. The worst thing I saw was the Virginia Georgia Tech game.
Oh God!
Dear God! And then the game literally ended with the Georgia Tech quarterback being like, "Fuck this!"
Running out of bounds.
Ran out of bounds. He just ran out of bounds instead of trying it. He's just like he's like, "I'm just going to run out of bounds." He's like, "This is over. I'm going to run out of bounds." But
to be fair though, to Georgia Tech, if Jay had Jeff Sims that game, they probably win.
Yeah, but so how does Virginia, with Tony Elliott coming from Clemson, now? Did Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson succeed despite Tony Elliott?
Which I think, yes, because he's ruined Brennan Armstrong.
Exactly, because Brennan Armstrong, I think there was an NFL scout who literally said he hasn't seen a quarterback have that precipitous of a drop. Because they were saying, oh, Brennan Armstrong's looking like a mid-round pick, as high as like a 3, maybe even a second-round pick after last year, where he was doing fantastic.
Yeah.
He was looking like if he was on a better Virginia team, he probably would have been a Heisman contender. On any other decent team with the numbers he was putting up, he probably could have been challenging for the Heisman, right? And now it's just like I don't know what to think. Like, I mean, sure, it's kind of funny because obviously it's UVA, and UVA is just screwing up a golden opportunity having this guy come over from Clemson who coached Trevor Lawrence, coached Deshaun Watson to championships or helps them. And he has this good quarterback, and he's screwing it up. And it's just like, I don't know what to think. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like clearly. And then now you see DJ. Like, is it just DJ was bad because of last year, and Tony Elliott was part of the problem, or is that just who DJ is, and he's not actually that good at quarterback? DJ,
to me, when I watch Clemson's offense, it reminds me a lot of. It reminds me a lot of Mario Cristobal's offense, and where if they have a really good quarterback, they can succeed. Obviously, Justin Herbert did really well in 2019, went 12-2, won the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have a guy on that level of Justin Herbert in order to do that. Where DJ, even though I think he still is a good quarterback, and I think he can be a really good quarterback. He just isn't on that level to where he can make up for such a bad, just offensive scheme.
He's not able to raise everyone up and beyond a bad scheme.
But what's DJ's excuse out there? What is DJ's excuse this season? I mean,
Tony Elliott's not there anymore.
He's been good this year.
They run nothing different than they ran last year. Nothing different. It's all the same. It's the same Clemson.
Which is, I don't understand why they got rid of, why they even didn't go out and hire a different OC. But anyway,
who is Clemson's OC anyway now? Now that
it's literally it was their quarterback's coach, I believe.
Okay. So what was the worst thing you saw, Ryan?
The worst thing I saw, and I'm gonna kind of steal what our boy Phil says during his videos. I'm upset. And it's because Kansas is on a 3-game losing streak after starting 5-0.
I think they would have won at least one, if not two, of those games if
Jalen Daniels. I believe they win the TCU game definitely with Jalen Daniels.
I think that how the teams played even without him, if you have him there, they probably would be 8-0 right now. Honestly,
Jackson Bean.
They don't beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma took them to the dog shed. They don't beat Oklahoma.
Jason Bean, though.
Do you think Jalen Daniels would have kept it closer than Bean with
closer?
The
Sure,
was
closer, sure. But Oklahoma had their way with every single player.
Well, that is the thing, though, Lucas. Jalen Smith or whatever, Jalen Daniels doesn't play defense, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe he would have kept it closer, but Oklahoma. I'll give you 7-1. I'll give you 7-1, but. They would have lost that Oklahoma game regardless. It was just.
But otherwise, Jason Bean is just Jason Bean has fallen off a cliff. He played terrible against Baylor.
Yeah. So I don't know, but they still, I don't know what their schedule is, but I think they can at the very least make a bowl game. And, hopefully Daniels will decide to come back because I think he wants to. He'll hopefully come back, and if Lance Leipold stays there, he'll be able to bring in a good recruiting class.
Hey, you know what?
Fix that defense, and maybe Kansas is on its way potentially. At least
with how good Kansas's offense is, though, I'd take their OC right now at Notre Dame.
I wouldn't be surprised if Leipold gets a Nebraska or some other.
I don't know if Leipold wants to go to Nebraska. Just how toxic that whole university is.
And I feel like if anything, that's already a bigger rebuild that he would have to deal with. Apparently, Nebraska is Nebraska is looking at Leipold as the number one guy. Apparently, that's
what about honestly, because at what point does Texas A&M fire Jimbo?
Well, he's like a $95 million guarantee on his contract. So
he's been there for 5 years, and the best he can do is 9-3. Come on, man. You have the number one recruiting class.
When did he leave? 2016 or 17 is when he went there.
Who?
Jimbo
Fisher.
Jimbo. It was after the national title, and
it was 2 years after. It was the year that Francois got hurt.
So it was 15 or 16, I think.
It was 15.
2016.
2016.
2016. So he's on his 6th year, and the best he's gone is what, like 9-3 or something.
Yeah, that's the best he's done. He's only done that once.
Well, and their punter has already entered the transfer portal. So
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Who wants Texas A&M's punter?
It's
and
like
he
that.
had I don't know if you mentioned this, Ryan, but Jimbo suspended like what was it, 3 or 4 freshmen that were a part of that number 1 recruiting class of all time. Had to suspend them for whatever reason, but it's just they're falling.
He's got to be on the hot seat. He's really got to. But all right, Connor. So week 9 AP poll reaction. Any issues or with it, or do you guys see any teams that you wouldn't have ranked or you would like to see ranked other than other teams?
I think we're doing okay this week. I mean, I
think NC State is about the only one that I don't think should be ranked. But I mean, I don't know. It's just like South Carolina's getting it because they beat a ranked Kentucky team. Or no, who did they beat? Was it ranked Kentucky?
Who? South Carolina?
They beat
South Carolina.
Kentucky, and their only 2 losses are to
Georgia.
then number 16 Arkansas and number 1 Georgia.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, Arkansas. I think that was at Arkansas too, so that's fine.
Yeah,
Syracuse. I like to see. I think they were like 14. They only dropped like 2, which I'm glad to see that they weren't punished for.
Hey,
that game,
they were
really.
the better team against Clemson for like 3 quarters.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. UCLA dropped from 10 to 12. Not as far as drop as I thought they were going to drop.
they
Ole
were
Miss
down
took
9. They went down 9 to 12, so 3 spots.
Ole Miss took a big tumble. They were like 7? They dropped all the way to 15.
It's
I think
because
it's
of the way
because
they lost.
I mean,
they
they
were
got
the
blown.
biggest drop at 8 points or 8 rankings. They dropped down, and then the second biggest was Kansas State dropped 5.
Who did
We talk
Kansas
about
State
the
lose
fact
to?
that Kansas State lost to Tulane, so you could honestly switch.
Put 2. Oh no, wait, that was earlier. in the
Kansas
season.
State lost to TCU this week, but yeah, they also did lose to Tulane. But they lost to TCU this week. It was the week that they had no quarterback.
Wait, was
Same
TCU's comeback last week or 2 weeks ago then versus Oklahoma State? I thought that was this week.
Against Oklahoma State, yes, but this week they also had to come back because they were down 28 to 10 or something like that to Kansas State, and then Kansas State's backup quarterback who was actually good playing.
I accidentally got my best thing right, but I was thinking it was for the wrong game. I thought it was the Oklahoma State game was the comeback for TCU. I didn't realize they were also down at K-State. But I think Tulane should be above them just because they did beat them.
And it was at Kansas State, so it wasn't even like it was at Tulane.
LSU at 6-2. Ryan, where's your hat? Where's the hat?
I'm still working on it. I gotta find a place where I can actually design a hat.
You can go on. You can
literally go to lids and just
lids.
And
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah,
but for everyone watching, I gotta buy a hat that says "I love Brian Kelly," due to the fact that
Louisiana Tech versus FIU. Do not ever take FIU.
Never take FIU.
Never take FIU. Just immediately take Louisiana Tech. We were up to 9, just 9 people for a second there. Cool.
But anyway, I'll work on that. But anyway, my issue with this, well, actually, I like one thing. Syracuse didn't fall, and I like that Illinois moved up 3 spots for not playing.
They only moved up 1.
Oh, they did? I thought they were 20 still.
Kentucky was probably ranked above them, and so Kentucky dropped below them, so that's why, probably.
But my only thing is there are 2 teams that I don't think should be ranked. Those 2 teams are Cincinnati and North Carolina. Not because, the records don't look nice or anything like that, but because their resumes are absolute dog water. Like, North Carolina, the best team they've played so far is Notre Dame, and they got ran in their own building by I'm not going to say terrible Notre Dame team, but at this point, 4-3 Notre Dame team. And then Cincinnati got beat. I mean, it was kind of convincingly. You never really thought that Arkansas was going to lose that game. And they've struggled with every single team they've played. Even an SMU team on the road that was missing 30 of their scholarship players. I don't buy that either team is a top 25 team. And I'd like to see Liberty ranked over both of those two teams. Liberty has blown out every team they've played with the exception of Gardner-Webb, which you could say was just kind of a weird game. And then
they
Southern
lose that
Miss,
game?
They won 21-20. But
who did they lose to? Because I know
they lost to Wake Forest on the road in overtime.
Oh yeah, and that was a really close game. I remember that.
Yep.
It was overtime. Yeah, so that's a fine loss.
I don't know. I just think Liberty has a way better resume than North Carolina or Cincinnati right now.
Well, I would honestly put Oregon State over.
Yeah,
Liberty
I would too.
Well.
Yeah,
I would put Oregon State over Liberty. I don't think you can take out North Carolina or Cincinnati at the moment, just because there's no reason to. Like, you just can't. It's not their fault that they play in not good conferences. But Oregon State, their only losses are to number 14 and number 10. So I feel like having them out of the top 25 right now is kind of ridiculous. But if they take care of business,
and honestly, wasn't both of those losses really close, and they could have easily won both of them?
Yeah, they were close with Utah for a while, and then at the end they kind of just blew it up. But
they
then
blew it against USC. They definitely blew it against
game
USC.
was like a 3-point game, I think, is what it ended.
Let me ask you guys this: are you guys sold on North Carolina? Because I'm not at all.
Offensively, yes. Their defense is probably one of the worst in the entire country. So I feel like if you pit them against any team in the top, honestly,
20?
15,
I think they can end 10-2.
Huh?
I think they can end 10-2 and win the Coastal, go to the ACC title. I think they will. Their toughest game they have next is at Wake Forest, and they'll lose that game. But then they play NC State that I think they'll slaughter because I don't think NC State's going to be able to stop them. And the rest of the games, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, I think North Carolina will end 10-2 and win the Coastal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like I said, it's not their fault that they're in a bad conference, or that is the reason
bad
why,
division.
because they are in a bad.
But I'm saying,
bad conference in general.
If you sit right now, if Illinois plays North Carolina,
Illinois' defense versus
Illinois
UNC's
has the best
offense
in the Big Ten. So
Illinois has
the best in the country.
They have the best defense statistically in the country. So.
Yeah, so that's tough. But I don't know. I just
depends on where it straight up depends on just where it is. But if it's neutral site,
the thing about this though, Notre Dame ran for almost 400 yards rushing against North Carolina. Imagine Illinois with Chase Brown against that rush defense.
That defense will hold them back.
But then if you look at Cincinnati too, Cincinnati might not even lose another game. I mean, they play Tulane, which they'll probably lose that game because Tulane.
They play UCF this week, so that could be, and it's at UCF.
And they could lose to UCF.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Gus Malzahn. Wait, is it Gus Malzahn or Gene Chizik? It's
Gus Malzahn.
Is it Gus?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hired by some prominent Power 5 team after what he's been doing with UC or UCF. Okay, let's just try and. Do you want to just go into the games, or do you just want to skip those?
We talk about them briefly. I know Lucas wants to talk about this one, so we'll.
Ducks quack the Browns, or Browns the Bruins.
Browns.
They probably would quack the Browns.
That's true as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much domination from start to finish. They kind of tried to hang in there for a minute once we got the onside kick, which brilliant call. Once we got the onside kick, it was basically wraps from there. They weren't going to be able to stop our offense, and it's crazy too because the Bruins didn't punt one time. They didn't punt once all game, and it's funny because if you talk to somebody like say somebody from the organization or from the school or like Chip Kelly, you go, hey, you're going to go in and you're not going to punt one time. How do you feel about that? Oh, I mean, he would feel ecstatic. He'd be like, oh, sweet. That's a win. That's easily a win. That could be a domination. But they just had non-existent defense. And Bo Nix, say what you want about him. Josh has been saying that he's going to hurt me, but I haven't seen it yet. I mean,
Bo Nix for Heisman, baby.
No, it's gonna happen at the worst time, and you will understand the pain.
And I don't understand the people that say that at the worst time. The worst time would have been this week, but look what he did: 5 touchdowns, 280.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it would be against a team you're easily supposed to beat. I mean, if
then
you look
he
at
could
it
have
like
done that against Stanford. He could have done that against Arizona. He could have done that against
Well, let's be
Washington.
real, Lucas.
at this point, he still doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt from me. He has
Lucas,
3 years of proving
Lucas,
he doesn't
think
deserve
about
the
think
benefit
about
of the doubt.
this. Think about this. We're not saying that he's gonna he's just gonna
He's
crap
only
the
a
bed in any
fourth-year
game.
senior, but okay.
But we're gonna
Senior. 8 years senior.
But we're gonna say what we're saying is that when we say worst possible time, we're talking about when you guys are in a tough game and it's going down to the wire and he's playing. It's a close game.
Right.
That's when Bo Nix does no Nix
Like the
type
Washington
things.
State game
Yes.
when he came back and won 44.
He almost cost. I'm saying, but he almost cost you guys that game with the pick 6
by 7
in the
points.
No, I'm just saying that could have been.
No,
the
this
7
argument
points in the
this
game.
argument is non-existent. This argument is
No,
non-existent.
Lucas, I agree with you. Bo Nix is playing at a Heisman level right now. I'm just saying that would it surprise anybody on this show or anybody watching if you guys were, say, in the Pac-12 title game, it's a close game, you got 2 minutes left to drive down and tie the game or go for the lead, and you have no timeouts left. Would it surprise you if Bo Nix throws a pick that gets intercepted and it goes for a pick 6? And I don't think it'd surprise anyone.
Right now, it would surprise me because of how well he's played.
Right.
He hasn't thrown an interception since that Washington State game.
Whoops. Meant to block that.
Damn, Connor.
But
I was trying to block it, and then another thing popped up. As soon as I did that.
I don't understand that narrative anymore because he's finally back with Kenny Dillingham, who he had his best season with. Beat Alabama with Kenny Dillingham, by the way. One of 3 quarterbacks in college football to beat Alabama. And he's back with him, and he actually has good talent on a team. I'm sorry to any SEC fans out there, but Auburn does not and hasn't had as much talent as Oregon since 2010.
And yet they won a championship since then.
I still don't think they had as much talent. They just that was their sold their soul season. We all know that.
Nah, Cam Newton was just playing
also,
out of his mind.
2014.
Do any of you guys have Jamar Chase on your fantasy teams?
Or 13. No, is he out?
He's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury.
I didn't pick him.
Damn it!
But all right, next game. TCU. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but they won in comeback fashion again, so we'll move on. Kind of talked about this a little bit, so we'll kind of move on to the next one, I guess. I know Lucas and Connor are going to want to brag about this one. LSU mauls the Rebels.
So
did
we
Connor
both
pick LSU to win?
Who?
No,
we all took Ole Miss.
I think I was the only one to take. I took LSU.
I took LSU.
No, you didn't. You took Ole Miss.
Did I not?
Yeah, you took Ole Miss.
I took LSU though.
I swore I thought I did, but I know I must have. But either way, it was. Oh no, I remember saying either way it's a win-win because we're getting all these spins now.
Yeah, I got it.
It's because either way it's a win-win because either I get a point, and gain a point on Lucas, or Ryan loses the bet between the 3 of us. So I swore I thought I did, but either way, I did very, very good on the pick'ems this week.
I figured you guys were going to get a point on me on this one, but
the way Ole Miss looked early on in that game, I definitely was like,
what was like 17-0 at one point?
Yeah,
17-3 was the thing, and then it was 17-3, and then LSU went on a 42-3 run.
God damn.
Just
That's like-
absolutely blew out of the water.
But all right.
Oh, LSU's
Going to
is gonna win out and beat Bama. I think that would be the cherry on top of the whole
Hey,
situation if he actually does
watch
beat
this
Bama.
though. If LSU wins out, goes 10-2, goes to New Year's Six, good old Bayou Brian won't win a New Year's Six bowl because he's 0-3 at this time. So
I think that might put him in the SEC championship.
Oh God, please.
Yeah,
no.
that would put
Please
him in the SEC championship.
no. Please no.
No, because they're leading the East right now. They're above Bama. They're leading the East right now.
No, it's in the West. They're second in
Sorry,
the
they're
West.
leading the West. No,
They're
I swore.
second.
I thought they were. Oh,
No,
they're second.
they're
I swore they were
second.
leading it.
Because they have a loss. No, yeah, it just says they're second, but they're like tied basically.
Yeah,
because they both have a loss.
because I just remember seeing the CBS broadcast showed them as in the lead.
Both of their only losses are against Tennessee. Obviously, LSU has the Florida State one, but in conference, it's against Tennessee, which is even more impressive from Tennessee. Like, it's
all right, stunners and bummers. Enough talking about Bayou Brian.
Okay. I'll go first, actually. So my stunner is Roman Henby, Maryland running back. I've been kind of mentioning him over in previous shows, just about why I've been picking Maryland. Maryland is now 6-2. They did not have Tualia Tagovailoa starting due to some knee injury, but apparently he's fine. He should be starting next week versus Wisconsin. So Roman Henby stepped up and helps them get their 6th win. They're bowl eligible now. He had, what was it? He had 24 carries, 179 yards, and 3 touchdowns with a long of 75 in a 31-24 win over Northwestern. So Roman Henby looking pretty dang good. I'd say he's probably second or third best running back right now in the Big Ten, probably. Chase Brown, and then I don't know if you want to take one of whoever is at Ohio State, and then probably Henby. I probably
You're forgetting Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards.
Oh, sorry, never mind. Then he's at least top 5. I'd say he's really good, and him and Tagovailoa are a really good complement to each other.
I will say, and because I know Phil's watching, I'm sorry, Phil, but Chase Brown is better than Blake Corum. Just for the fact that Blake Corum has one of the best offensive lines in college football, and Chase Brown doesn't.
But not the best. The best.
Not the best, but one of the best. The
What's
best
the
is
best?
the Oregon Ducks.
Really?
Yes.
Damn it.
Statistically, I think the Ducks actually have the number 1 offensive line.
We've only allowed 1 sack in 7 games. That's so crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm going to go first before Lucas because I want to. But Stunner, I'm going to go Bo Nix. Because I wanted to beat Lucas to the punch with this one.
Okay, I think we should have a rule. We should have a rule going forward that you can only pick someone like more than twice. You can only have like
Yeah, but when you have a game like Bo had, he was my stunner number 2, so he wasn't even my number 1 guy. But when you have a game like that, I feel like it's earned.
Clearly.
Number.
We'll see when
I was
Illinois
like,
plays
wait,
Michigan.
I was like clearly 31 running back in the country because I like looked. I was like, wait, 31.
We'll see when Michigan goes up against the number 1 rush defense in the country. But anyway, I'm gonna go Bo Nix. Bo Nix for Heisman. He had 22 for 28 with a 78, almost an 80% completion percentage, 283 yards, and 5 touchdown passes. Bo Nix looks like, I'm not saying he has, but he looks like he is starting to change the narrative of his college football career in Oregon. So I'm sure Lucas is enjoying every second of that.
Loving it.
But go ahead, Lucas.
I love it too because I like that picture that I got with him at the spring game is becoming more and more like memorable as the days go.
You could say I got to take a picture with Bo Nix when he went to Oregon and got a Heisman Trophy.
And it was before he was even a Heisman Trophy winner. So my stunner, I told you guys you would like my stunner. Maybe not Ryan so much, but
I swear to God, if it's LSU related.
No.
Okay, good.
My stunner of the week, and this may be the first ever on the Week 0 podcast, Joshua Carty, the kicker for Stanford.
Okay.
He was 5 for 5 on field goals, beating Arizona State 15-14. He made from 44, 36, 44, 36, and 47. And he is now 12 for 12 on the season, with 8 of those being 40-plus yards. And that includes a 53-yard field goal on the year as well. And probably Kicker of the Year award incoming for this kid.
Stanford should be on a Stanford should be on a 4-game winning streak. Not gonna lie.
Single-handedly beating Arizona State with his leg.
What are they in a 3-game?
They're 3 and 4. No, they're on a 2-game. They should
game.
be on a 3-game winning streak.
Yep.
Right. Well, they did. Oh, yeah, because of course they beat you guys. Right.
You don't need to remind me, Connor.
They should have beat Oregon
No,
State.
sorry, I had to remind myself, which meant I then could remind you about it. Okay.
All right,
We can snake back around. We'll snake back around. I'll go again.
Okay.
So my bummer of the week is Billy Atkins, the quarterback for James Madison. It was his first career start against Marshall as a true freshman.
What happened to Todd Centio?
I'm not sure. I'll give him a little bit of slack because, like I said, it is his first career start against a team that beat Notre Dame. He was 13 for 35, so terrible completion percentage. 164 yards, 1 touchdown, had 4 interceptions. He also had 13 carries for negative 23 yards. They lost to Marshall by 14 points. Obviously, JMU, they were once ranked, and they have fallen apart the last 2 weeks, losing 2 straight now, unfortunately. But, yeah, that kid sucks. It sucks.
Well,
if
I remember correctly,
freshman.
Todd Centio was their starting quarterback for the first 6 games of the season, and I think he
Must have been hurt.
I think he got injured late in that game last week against Georgia Southern, and I'm assuming that's why he didn't play. So, but anyway, my bummer is going to be Aiden O'Connell. He was a guy that I was high on, and I had as a sleeper Heisman pick this year.
Did Purdue lose again?
Yes, they did to Wisconsin.
Oh no,
they got ran by Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But Aiden O'Connell, 31 for 46, 320 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and was sacked 3 times. So I mean, we've seen what Illinois did to Wisconsin. I thought Purdue was pretty good, and I thought we all took Purdue to beat Wisconsin. So
I took Scotty. I think.
No, you didn't. You wanted to, but you took Purdue.
Dude, Connor is just out of it.
I can't remember
any of this.
No, I can't. Dude, did you not see me literally questioning what I had taken 2 days after the Rams? That's because I've been doing it by the seat of my pants. I'm literally just making the picks when we're doing it. I'm not writing it down or anything. So I completely forget what I'm taking because I just can't remember. So yeah. Okay.
Well, that's fair.
My bummer is Jackson Dart, Ole Miss quarterback. He was 19 of 34, 283 yards, with 1 interception, no touchdowns, and as LSU got blown out of the water by LSU on the road in a game that I don't think any of us really thought that was going to happen. So, yeah, and now I don't even know who they play this week, but it's going to be interesting going forward. Hope maybe they can rebound or something. I don't know. We'll see. So cool.
They play A&M.
Oh, he'll probably rebound. Surprise team.
All right, go ahead,
Ryan.
Sneak back around.
All right, go.
I guess I'll go.
We're
I'll
gonna,
go
we're
first.
gonna, oh, no,
I was gonna
no,
say
we're
we
gonna
can just
snake around.
snake back around again. Yeah.
Okay, so I start and then I end it for both stunners, bummers, and surprise and meme, I guess. Okay, cool. My surprise is how good Syracuse looked against Clemson, at least for the first half and parts of and into the third quarter. Defensively, they were holding them very well. Offensively, they disappeared in the second half. So, as I love how unengaged we are right now. We're like all checking our phones and stuff.
I'm listening.
This is not like
Lucas,
this is not what you do in the top.
Lucas, go.
Shoot. I was gonna look up some stats here. I was gonna change mine, but I guess I can just keep it to where it is. I'm going with. No, I don't want to be a homer. I'm gonna go with the Liberty Flames.
Blowing out BYU at home.
Yeah, blowing out BYU. I wanted to look up a little bit of the stats just to see if they dominated.
They did.
Offense.
They did.
Because I'm assuming they probably did. Yeah, so almost 300 more yards of total offense than BYU. They had 28 first downs compared to 12. 300 yards rushing against BYU. BYU only had 71. So
BYU started the game 14-0 and got outscored 41-0 the rest of the way.
Yeah, they Liberty looked really, really good. And I mean, yeah, and it sounds like I'm not sure who's going to end up starting because their starting quarterback, I think that Salter kid got hurt last week. They had Jonathan Bennett that started this week. And then I heard that Charlie Brewer's coming back too from injury, so he may get the nod next week.
Oh my God, Charlie Brewer's at Liberty?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
It's funny because it seems like Liberty, like Hugh Freeze, is building a reputation
Of just getting good
transfer quarterbacks and then making them pretty good.
Well,
I mean, that's what Malik Willis was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he transferred from Auburn.
Yep. And he was garbage. People forget Malik Willis was trash at Auburn.
He also was actually to VT, terrible. So I'm sure we would have ruined him anyway. So
that shows a lot about Auburn. I'm telling you, Auburn does not know how to develop quarterbacks.
Neither does VT.
But anyway, my surprise team is going to be East Carolina, who not only beat UCF, they dominated UCF from the entire
That's
game.
a pick I remember taking, and I got
Yep, you got that one right. East Carolina absolutely dominated start to finish UCF, who was the leader in the American. East Carolina is a very up and down team, but yeah, that's my surprise team of the week. So you're
surprise.
We're me,
and then
yep.
And then you start again, and then you go.
Will
again.
it be me? Okay, so
yeah, then you go, then Lucas and I.
My meme team of the week. I gotta pull up the meme really quick.
Do you have team memes for all three of us?
Yeah, Josh put them in the group chat.
Yes, we do. Do we have Connors? I don't think I saw Connors.
I don't think.
So this is my meme team is Ole Miss for losing an old Bayou Brian after starting up 17-3. They didn't change anything, it looked like, offensively in the second half, and didn't adjust. So, yeah, picture that dog. Instead of it being a dog, just put Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Ole Miss is my meme team. Lucas, what was your meme team? Was it BYU?
My meme team was BYU.
Okay. All right, hold on one second. Let me get it pulled up. But Josh sent like 3, so I have no idea which one to use. Oh no, he did send yours, Connor. He said yours was Miami.
Yeah.
So, which one did you want me to use, Lucas?
Do the one with.
Show all of them.
Just show them all. Yeah, screw it.
right.
They're all good. You might as well.
All right, so this is the first one.
Our boy Josh knows how to make some memes.
Memes.
4 L's.
That was the one that I made.
All right.
Kalani
Then-
Sataki exposing us. Exposing. We're exposed.
There we
Good
go.
thing he deleted that photo.
But all right, go ahead.
This one is pretty good. I think the next one was even more funny. Obviously, for all the college football fans, everybody knows that BYU has now lost 4 straight, coming against Oregon, Notre Dame, Arkansas, Liberty. All decent teams, but BYU was once ranked number 12 in the country. And I'm not really sure who decided to do that.
Hey, I remember someone saying BYU was a decent team, a la.
Well, I thought
Lucas.
they were until they played Notre Dame and then Arkansas and then Liberty. I was like, damn, maybe they're not so good.
All right.
And
So-
my meme team is Miami.
Oh my god, I hate that it goes
Because
all the way up.
how the hell does VT not beat Miami? Yep, they turned the ball over 8 times versus Duke and lost 45-21 at home, I think. Like, what was it? 3 interceptions and 5 fumbles, I think. Like,
They benched Tyler Van Dyke again.
Tyler Van Dyke.
Yes, they did.
So,
They did bench Tyler
Yeah.
Van Dyke.
But all right.
so yeah, it's we're on to the pick'ems,
pick'ems.
where I have set the world right again. I was down. I can't remember what I was at. Was I at like I was at like 42 or something, like 140.
Yeah, you
What was
were
that?
3 behind Lucas and 2 behind me.
Yeah, and I've jumped them after having a fantastic week. I think I
Josh
got
has
like
just
I think I
gotten
went like
further and further down.
I think I got like 24 or 25 of them of my pick'ems right last week. So because I think I was like 42 or 40 or 142 or 143. So yeah, all is right in the world again, and I will continue to expand my lead as we go on. First game, I can do it. Ryan, this is gonna be slow.
All right.
Georgia Tech at Florida State. Florida State is a 24-point favorite. Dear God,
I'm assuming that's because Jeff Sims is not playing.
probably. And also, they saw how bad that Thursday night game was.
Yes. Yeah, Florida State. Every time we think that teams aren't going to score that much, as like Ohio State last week against Iowa, they always manage to do it. So I guess I'm going to take Florida State and say they're going to win by 24.
You're going to take the points? Oh, my
Yeah.
I guess so, because every time we go against the points,
That's true.
we end up
We really, you
scoring.
know what, Lucas? Next year we are starting McKnight bets,
I think I do all right.
McKnight
I
parlays.
think I can
No,
get some
Money
people
McKnight.
to-
Money McKnight.
Money McKnight. There we go. And then we can have Lucas do like a little 20-minute show that I can edit and post.
Phil
about
is
his-
awesome. Phil is joining us again. He's giving his picks in the chat. He's saying
All right,
FSU.
cool. All right, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Knowles in this one as well. I'll take FSU in the points.
Yeah, same. FSU should be a clean sweep, and of course, Josh will send his. He sent them to you, Ryan.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Let's try and get these through real quick. Maybe we can get under an hour and a half if we're quick about it. Oklahoma at Iowa State. Oklahoma is a 1.5-point favorite.
I actually am taking Iowa State in this, and it's a lot based around the defense. And their offense didn't play bad last week.
and Oklahoma's defense is terrible still.
As usual.
I'm going to take the Cyclones as well. I believe that the last 3 times Oklahoma has went on the road to play at Ames, Iowa State has won. So I'm going to take the Cyclones, especially since this might be the last time that they get to play Oklahoma.
Let me see. I'll look that up for you real quick. They played a neutral game in 2020 in Texas and lost. Iowa State lost to Oklahoma. They lost in Oklahoma last year. They beat them in Ames. And wait, what? Oh, sorry, that was the championship game. They lost. They did win at home in 2020. They lost at home in 2018 and 2016. So they actually have lost 3 straight at home.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So I'm taking Oklahoma. They're looking better with Dylan Gabriel back and stuff. And I don't know, the defense is still suspect, but I think their offense is good enough that they'll be able to keep pace and stuff. Toledo at Eastern Michigan. Toledo is a 7-point favorite on the road, which is very impressive when they have identical records. So they'd be a double-digit favorite if they were at home. Jeez, it's kind of crazy.
So, Lucas, who are you going with?
I'm actually also going. I'm going with Toledo. Yep.
I'm going to go with Eastern Michigan, the Fighting Gray Turfs. I am undefeated this year, 2-0 when we've had them in the pick'ems. Toledo is coming off a tough loss on the road at Buffalo. So give me Eastern Michigan. The best team in the state of Michigan, Phil.
I'll take Toledo. When it's that big, there either is a lot of action going on Toledo to win that, or Vegas knows something that's out, and that's why that's such big. So yeah, I'll take Toledo. What is Phil's same response? Oh, he takes Toledo as well.
Disrespect.
The disrespect, lol. Okay, we got Arkansas at Auburn. I'm just amazed this isn't like a touchdown favorite for Arkansas or bigger with how bad Auburn is.
You know, I don't think Auburn's actually all that terrible. I mean, they played some
Close games.
They played some tough teams, and they brought them down to the wire. So I'm actually taking Auburn in this one because it's in Auburn. It's in Alabama, so I'm taking Auburn.
I'm going with Woe Pig Suey on this one. KJ Jefferson. I mean, Arkansas goes where KJ Jefferson goes. So, give me Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As long as KJ's there, Arkansas is actually going to be good. So give me Arkansas. Oh my dear God, this could have been
the $1 ticket game.
$1 ticket game. Dear God, Boston College at UConn, BC.
Believe it or not, you can get tickets to this game for $10.
That's the cheapest.
Yeah, that's the cheapest.
Dear God.
That's so crazy. I'm taking UConn. I'll take UConn.
Oh, UConn is terrible, and so is BC. I'm gonna go with my former quarterback, Phil Dracovic, and the Boston College Eagles. We all love Jim Mora, though.
Dear God, this game and the next game that we have on here are like the two worst ones that you could have picked, Ryan, because
I made it because it was hard. That's why I put this on here, because I knew it was going to be a hard pick 'em. I've had enough of us all going the same picks.
Fuck me. Give me BC. Okay.
I know Phil probably wants UConn to win just because
he took UConn.
Yeah, it makes Michigan beating them look better. But go ahead, Connor.
Miami at Virginia. Miami's a 2.5 favorite. Dear God. Oh my God. I don't think either team. God damn it.
This might be.
Can I just have the stadium like implode on itself? Just have Bane come along and just destroy the stadium.
Can I be honest though? This game with how bad these two offenses are,
I wouldn't be
can see
surprised
it.
if it's like 45-46 or something. Like it's
No,
not-
no, no. It'll be like that Broncos Colts Thursday night game. Where it'll be
Oh
like
my
12
dear
to 9.
God! Oh my God!
Bring back those memories.
Dude.
I'm actually gonna take Miami in a bounce back game.
Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna take UVA. I think Brendan Armstrong is a little bit better than Tyler Van Dyck or Gabriel Rubio, whoever the hell they put out there at quarterback for Miami. So, and they just turned the ball over to Duke 8 times. So, I'm going to take UVA, but both of these teams are god awful.
What sucks the most is oh, sorry, that was my laundry just went off. That loud sound, if you heard that.
Yeah.
The worst part is one of these teams will be at 500 after this game, despite how shit they are. I will take Miami. Brendan Armstrong doesn't instill fear in me. Neither does Tyler Van Dyck, but I don't know. I just don't know. Just give me Miami. I hate them less than I hate UVA. Let's put it that way, I guess. Rutgers at Minnesota. This is
Another terrible game.
Another terrible game as well, yeah. Minnesota, 14.5-point favorite at home.
Minnesota for sure. That run game, it's gonna run. They're gonna run all over Rutgers.
Minnesota.
Hey, you know what? It's a
Minnesota.
you know, it's a win for Rutgers because they're probably going to be able to finish going to a bowl game. But Minnesota is a little bit of a better team, so give me the Gophers at home.
Yeah, I'll go with Gophers. It's just I don't trust Rutgers at all. Yeah, I think that's a clean sweep. That's one of our first.
That's the first one of the show.
Oh my God, you're right. No, other than Florida State.
Yeah.
I think other than Florida State, I think we hadn't swept since then. Dear God, another bad one. SMU at Tulsa. SMU is a 2.5-point favorite. Oh my God.
I picked SMU because of how they played against Cincinnati last week.
Give me the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes.
Yeah, I'll take SMU on the road. Even though he isn't always the best, I think Tanner Mordecai is the better quarterback. Even though he makes some bad mistakes.
Even though he has like nobody to throw to, he's got walk-on receivers everywhere.
True, but still, I'll still take him. Yeah, exactly. Phil said it best. Someone has to win those. These last 4 games, someone has to win, unfortunately, and it sucks. Coastal at Marshall. Coastal Carolina and Marshall. Marshall is a 2.5-point favorite, and of course, Marshall. Both of them are coming off losses, right?
Marshall just upset JMU.
Oh no, you're right.
I could see this being as one of those like Marshall struggling on offense type games, so I'm gonna take Coastal.
My heart is saying Coastal because I still can't get over the Marshall loss, but my head is telling me that somehow Marshall will win this game. So give me Marshall. They are Marshall this week.
I was hoping I would be the only one. I'll take Marshall as well.
Plus the games on NFL Network, and they put all the Marshall games on NFL Network for some reason.
That's kind of interesting. Phil is taking Coastal. Okay. UAB at FAU. UAB is a 5.5-point favorite. Oh my God, we're being spammed.
Give me UAB.
Yep. Give me the best team in the state of Alabama.
I mean, probably. Yeah.
The home to.
Yeah, give me UAB. Yeah, I think that's a clean sweep. And Phil is also on UAB, so yeah. Cool. Baylor at Texas Tech. Oh, God. I don't know. Texas Tech is a 2.5-point favorite. Oh, my God.
What's with all the 2.5-point favorites?
Because
realize
even
that.
Vegas is just like we don't know what to think. Like they don't know what to think. And,
The games. I'm taking Texas Tech.
Yep, give me Texas Tech as well. Evidently, they have the new Patrick Mahomes in Texas Tech right now.
oh my god, I don't know.
I'm not even joking. They're starting a true freshman quarterback now,
Mhm.
who started the year as the third string, and the coaches are all hyping up, saying he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. So,
Oh my god, I don't know what to think. I mean, Baylor should have a better record than they have. Than they should be like 5-2. But
Blake Shapen has just looked like
they've shit the bed. They should have beaten West Virginia because West Virginia is not a good team. They should have beaten them on the road. Yeah, I guess it's a clean sweep. I'm gonna go Texas Tech because I just can't trust Baylor anymore with how they've looked. I don't trust either team, but I'll go with Texas Tech. That way, I don't know. Either we all gain a point or we don't. North Texas at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's a 10-point favorite at home.
Yep, Western Kentucky's going to win it.
Yep, give me the Fighting Bailey Zappies, the best quarterback in New England right now.
I mean, yeah. Bill Belichick decided to start a QB controversy for no reason.
He's saying Bailey Zappi's going to be the next Tom Brady, confirmed.
I'm just getting bad flashbacks to that shit. Yeah, give me Western Kentucky as well. And yep, Phil takes Western Kentucky as well.
I almost wish the Broncos would have took Bailey Zappi.
Well, yeah, I mean, how bad? I'm sure he'd be doing better than Russ at this point as well. Okay, Middle Tennessee at UTEP. UTEP is a 1.5-point favorite.
I mean,
Lucas is
MTSU. I guess I don't know. These games are just like.
Ryan, just are you just?
It's gonna be
I'm not joking. There was not a lot. No. Listen, I was thinking this when I wrote it down, but there are not a lot of good games this week, and a lot of the ranked teams are off this week, and there were not even a lot of Power 5 games this week.
Then you should have just, at the very least, you should just cut down. We don't need to have all these shoulda, woulda, coulda games.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Hey, just pick quick. MTSU. They're going to beat UTEP.
All right.
UTEP.
So, Middle Tennessee.
Just say
it.
Give me
say
UTEP.
it.
All right, moving on.
UTEP.
He's picking Middle Tennessee State.
No, I'm taking UTEP.
We're both taking UTEP.
I'll start picking for him if he's going to say some bullshit.
Exactly. San Diego State at Fresno State. Fresno is 8.5-point favorites. Fresno State is
San Diego
actually
State. I don't know why, but yeah.
Give me Fresno State. The real FSU.
Yeah, I'll take Fresno, San Diego State.
Jake Haener. Can we all talk about the fact Jake Haener looks
terrible
without the coach that went to Washington?
He should have went.
He should have just transferred with him.
He did, and then he transferred back.
He should have stuck there. Okay, Missouri at number 25, South Carolina. South Carolina's a 4-point favorite. The best USC.
Yeah,
Beamer ball. South Carolina is going to get a dub at home.
Yep.
So I could see South Carolina dropping this game because Missouri's kind of that sneaky team. But I'm going to go South Carolina just because it is at home.
Yeah, I'll go South Carolina as well.
Give me the Cot Commanders.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think that's at Kansas State. That's what?
Number 22.
22.
I don't know what happened to it. I got it. Hold on. But go ahead and pick it.
Either Oklahoma State at Kansas State. K-State's a 1.5-point favorite at home.
Confused.
About what?
Oh, okay. Nothing. Yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma State.
I'm going to take Kansas State in the upset at home. Just how weird the Big 12 has been this year. I would not be surprised. And plus, I think being in Kansas State helps.
Do you even know their quarterback situation?
Nope.
No.
I just know Will Howard is going to start.
If he can play.
And Adrian Martinez might be back. You don't know.
There you go. The best
play.
The
OSU.
best
The best
OSU.
Yeah,
real
the best.
OSU.
Give me the real OSU. Give me Oklahoma State. Fire some six shooters in the air after they win. Pittsburgh at number 21, North Carolina. North Carolina's only a 3-point favorite at home because their defense is exactly.
Or
Their
did you
defense is so good.
take K-State?
No, I took Oklahoma State.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take UNC in this one. I think Pittsburgh could have a good run game, good run day, but I just don't think they're gonna be able to keep up.
Did you copy my chair, Lucas? I just
No, I'm not on. It's not a racer.
But anyway, I'll take UNC and Drake May.
Yep, clean sweep. UNC
The fighting Javonte Williams.
Excuse me. That just means that someone else is going to tear their ACL this year.
Stop.
Number 20, Cincinnati at UCF. UCF is a 1-point favorite.
I'm actually going to take UCF. Bounce back game after getting absolutely blown out last week. Cincinnati just doesn't look that great. UCF wins it at home.
Ryan, Lucas, you're breaking up a bit. Your Wi-Fi. Oh no, Lucas's Wi-Fi isn't moving.
But anyway, while Lucas's Wi-Fi gets figured out, I'm taking.
My Wi-Fi is fine. I think your Wi-Fi can't keep up.
I'm taking the fighting Shaquem Griffins and the UCF. The quarterback with the best name in college football, John Rice Plumlee. Connor?
I was hoping you were going to take Cincinnati because I was going to go the opposite way you did.
No, I think me and Lucas can both agree Cincinnati's not legit.
Yeah, I guess I can't take Cincinnati either. So I guess it's a clean sweep for UCF, even though I don't totally like it. Sorry, Josh. I'm just gonna say straight up. Number 19, Kentucky, and number 3, Tennessee. I'm gonna take Tennessee with the points as well.
Lucas?
Oh yeah, go Vols.
Go your daughter.
Yeah.
So I was
Ryan.
That sounded a little weird, but
you're gonna talk about this like you actually thought hard about it. But
listen. No, I gotta say this for our boy Josh. I think he deserves this.
Let's go Kentucky.
So, this game at the beginning of the year, I thought was the winner of this game would win the SEC East outright. Kentucky has kind of struggled with, when they didn't have Will Levis in the 2 games they lost, or the 1 game they lost is because he was playing with a weird hand.
Literally had his finger like 20.
Yeah, so I took Kentucky in this game early on in the season, but I'm sorry, Josh. Tennessee and Hendon Hooker are just too good, man. Give me the balls.
Shit up.
Give me the balls, man.
All right, we don't need 20 minutes soliloquies explaining why.
It's because he's sad that he was wrong about Kentucky.
That's true.
That's why I got to mourn it.
Okay, number 17, Illinois at Nebraska. Illinois is a 7.5-point favorite. I'm trying to get this done because I'm gonna go to a bar and watch the Ravens and the Hokies play tonight, and I'm probably gonna be sad because some bad shit's gonna happen probably to both of them.
I forgot they both play Thursday night.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Nebraska. I almost took Nebraska in this one, honestly. I almost did just for the upset, but taking Illinois.
Yeah, I'm going Illinois as well. The Fighting Chase Browns.
Yep, Illinois. Go and fight.
Fighting Chase McLaughlins.
So you'll love this real quick. So there's a guy who is a moderator, mod with me for Tom Grassi, and he reached out to me to do some like reads to end his radio broadcasts and stuff. And he lives in Illinois, so he's like, can you do like a kind of like a nice, like good night or whatever? And I said, okay, cool. And I said I did one. It's like, good night, and I hope you have a great night, Brett Bielema. Is what I ended one of them with because obviously he's Illinois, so he likes that. Cool.
That's good.
Ole Miss at Texas A&M. Miss is only 2.5-point favorite. Ole Miss.
Yeah, Texas A&M at home is kind of scary, but I think
true.
Ole Miss bounces back. They got a really good run game, and I think they just play better this week.
Yeah, it's a night game at Kyle Field, which is usually electric. I'm just glad they finally took Texas A&M off of primetime, off of ESPN. So, yeah, but give me the Rebs.
Yep. Stanford at number 12, UCLA.
Does UCLA have a letdown? Does that happen this week?
I mean, we could see one. I think
not at home.
UCLA came out of last. Well, they don't have.
They don't even have a home field advantage.
That's true. They really don't.
I think UCLA. They came out last game pretty much like unscathed. Like they were super healthy coming out of that last game. So no injuries. UCLA is just a better team. They get the win, but it may be closer than 16.5.
The thing is this the same UCLA team that fell off the radar when they lost that heartbreaker to Oregon last year, and they ended up going 7-5. I don't think so. I think this UCLA team learned from last year, so I think UCLA wins big.
You taking the points?
I wouldn't take that because it is a Pac-12 after dark game, and those games usually go pretty weird too. So,
but yeah, I'll take UCLA. Wake Forest at Louisville. Wake
trap
is
game.
4-point favorite. Actually, that's number 10 Wake Forest, not number 11. But either way,
it's number 11.
They're tied for number 10, so they're like basically, yeah, it's a tie. They have the same amount of points as USC does. Wake Forest by like 14 plus.
You don't think this could be a trap game, Lucas?
Not even a little bit.
It's not a night game. It's not a night primetime game for Louisville.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. I'm going to go Wake Forest, but I do think it's close.
Phil's going Louisville. It's going
On the upset.
Yep, I'll take Wake. Number 10, USC are tied for number 10 at Arizona. USC is a 15.5-point favorite. Now,
this one's a tricky one because I do think Arizona has probably the best receiving core that USC has seen all season, but they just don't have enough of a defense to stop the Trojans' offense. So I could see probably around 16, 15.5 sounds right.
I like this pick, Lucas. I'm going to take Arizona in the upset in Tucson. So, yeah, give me the Wildcats, the Fighting Jake Delores.
Brave.
Yeah, I'll take USC as well.
I think me and Lucas would both be happy if Arizona beats USC.
Nope.
That's true.
I would not be happy.
Why? Because you want Oregon to beat them?
I need USC to win out.
To then be a good matchup for the Pac-12?
Yeah.
Damn it. Cool. Number 7, TCU at West Virginia. Take me home.
So this is my first upset on my list. I'm actually going to take West Virginia to upset TCU at home in this game.
Oh.
I just think West Virginia's they're good at home. They're just this like weird sneaky team where they can play like lights out or they can play really terrible. But I think with TCU the past couple of weeks they've had these close games. They've had to fight really hard. Max Duggan's pretty beat up. I think West Virginia gets it done.
I'm going to stick with my team that I said was going to be in the Big 12 title at the beginning of the year. Give me the TCU Horny Frogs.
Yeah, give me the Fighting. What's his name? Boykin. What's the guy's
Trayvon
name?
Boykin.
Yeah, give me the Fighting.
Whatever
Trayvon
happened
Boykin.
to him? Did he ever go to the NFL or anything?
He got arrested for something.
Oh, God.
Oh. Okay, well, still, I'm taking TCU. Go TCU. Michigan State at number 4, Michigan. Phil, now the real question is will Michigan cover that spread or not?
Yes, Michigan destroys their little brother.
So according to Phil,
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap.
According to Phil, the Paul Bunyan Trophy has been breathing in a lot of that toxic East Lansing air. So I think it goes back to its rightful place in Ann Arbor.
I love how it's called the Paul Bunyan, but that's not something you would ever think of from Michigan. You would think of that for like the Wisconsin-Minnesota game as the
That's what Paul Bunyan's axe. Is that what that is? The Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think
game?
It's the actual axe. I think, and then it's just called the Paul Bunyan Trophy for Michigan State. So yeah, I'll take Michigan. I'll take I take those. Jesus Christ, that is very mean-spirited. Phil
is still recovering from Kenneth Walker III.
That is true, and I feel like he'll never fully recover from. He has trouble with the snap. That's just going to be with Michigan fans for all eternity. So I do love that. Whenever that comes up on the college football subreddit, you just have a long thread of everyone commenting one word from that entire call of that play.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
And it's just like, whoa, he has trouble. It just keeps going. Florida at Georgia. Technically not at Georgia. It's a neutral site game in Jacksonville. It's the greatest cocktail party. Both of those still haunt me. Yeah, both of them still haunt
this
you.
one was weird for me because I actually thought about it for a second, like I shouldn't be thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Florida could have some sort of a maybe they took some of Missouri's, plays or something where they could come out here and do something, but that was just my college football craziness talking. Georgia's going to win this game by a lot of points. Also, a team I need to win out is Georgia. So
it's also your point to kind of add on to what you said, Lucas. I think it's less of what team, what Florida team shows up to Jacksonville, and more about which Georgia team shows up. The team that struggled against Kent State and Mizzou, or is it the team that blew out Oregon and then this past week blew out, or 2 weeks ago, Vanderbilt? Do you think Georgia sleepwalks into this game? I don't think so because it is a rivalry game. So give me the Dogs.
Yeah.
By 30.
Yeah, give me Georgia. I think they're going to cover that spread easily. Ryan's team, Notre Dame at number 16, Syracuse. Syracuse is a 2.5-point favorite.
I actually thought about picking Notre Dame for this because this would be like one of those games, but Syracuse, they looked really good last week. They'll get it done.
This game has been going back and forth on the spreads. Earlier in the day yesterday, Notre Dame was favored by 2. And then now Syracuse is favored by 2, and I believe it actually went down to 1.5. So it's a pick'em game.
So wait, Notre Dame's last game was versus UNLV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear God, I really. Shoot. I don't know. I think what scares me about taking Cuse is just their offense completely disappeared in the second half versus Clemson, and they blew that chance, and that really scares me. As
Notre Dame's defense is not as good as Clemson's, but it's up there.
Yeah, and I think that scares me into Syracuse. This could be a letdown game for Syracuse coming off an emotional loss like that, being that close to pulling a major upset and changing a lot of the college football landscape, at least for the playoffs and stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come out very flat because they're so drained. I just don't know what to think about Notre Dame. They're just so flip-floppy. You know what I mean? And
they play really good against Ohio State.
Exactly.
Lose to Marshall, blow out North Carolina and BYU.
Lose to Stanford.
Then lose to Stanford, and then blow out UNLV.
So what are the other two? What are the two? What are they? Wait. So Ohio State, Marshall, and
Stanford.
Those are the 3 losses. Right. I will take Cuse, but I'm not entirely confident in it. I would not be surprised if Notre Dame actually wins because they're just like the kind of the Steelers of college football. This year they're playing up and down to their competition. So this just wouldn't surprise me if they play up to them and outright beat them in a pretty convincing win. Which then, of course, leads to Notre Dame being ranked next week. And then we're just like, dear God, don't not. And then we're just like, oh, they're going to be disappointed again. So, yeah. But I'll take Cuse.
So the last time Notre Dame played Syracuse was in 2018. It was 2020. But the year before that was 2018. That was when Syracuse was good. The last time Notre Dame played Syracuse when they were ranked, Syracuse was also coming off a hard-fought loss at Clemson. That's when they had Tony Dungy and all. Or no, not.
That's the season when they went 10-2.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
The next week, after losing a 3-point game to Clemson, they played Notre Dame in the Shamrock Series game and got blown out 49-10. I don't think that happens again this year. I just don't. I don't know. I could see Notre Dame winning this game, but I think Syracuse was the better team. So give me Syracuse at home.
Okay. Wow. Kind of surprised about that. But yeah, I think it's just Notre Dame's so flip-floppy. I don't know what to think. So number 8, Oregon at Cal. Now, really, the question is really just, will Oregon cover that?
Easily.
And I'm just going to say,
They will win by 20 or more points.
I'm going to say take Oregon and the points.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks. Is that how Lucas already said that? And I know we already made the pick last week, but what are you guys' picks for tonight's game? We all said NC State.
We all took Virginia Tech, I believe, or not Virginia Tech. Who was they playing? NC State, I believe. We all took.
They're playing NC State tonight. Yeah, we all took NC State. And then they don't play
NC State and then Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all did. So Phil takes the Ducks. Okay, game of the week. We have number 2 Ohio State at number 13 Penn State. Now the travesty for this is not the whiteout game.
Yep.
This should have been the night whiteout game for Penn State because they have pulled the upset on Ohio State.
I don't know why they decided to make the whiteout game against Minnesota. That literally made no sense.
Like this is the game where Penn State has upset Ohio State 2 or 3 times. Well,
it's like Michigan.
5-6 years.
Michigan's using their blue out game, which they do once a year, for Michigan State this week. Why?
Well, that's understandable. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense as a rivalry, but this should be the night whiteout game. And honestly, with that energy, I'd be willing to have picked Penn State. But
Penn State is undefeated. The last two times they played Ohio State in the whiteout, they were 2-0.
Exactly. And then we have that crazy blocked field goal that was returned for a touchdown and stuff, and that ruined Ohio State's playoff chances. But, I mean, it's going to be a good test for Ohio State. We've been complaining about them not having a challenge thus far. When
the best team you played is Notre Dame, and you only scored 21 points against them, that says a lot.
So, I mean, but at the same time, Penn State doesn't scare me because Sean Clifford is so hot and cold, and he's not the best, really. He doesn't seem to be the best. He's like Bo Nix at Auburn. Really, he just reminds me of that. He'll look really bad for the majority of the game and then look really good. Wait, what does Phil say? He just said something. Oh, Penn State beats the other state. A massive upset. Ryan Day is fired on the field immediately following the loss. Okay. Phil, that's a little too far with the C.J. Stroud.
Spleen injury. That's funny.
I understand you hate Ohio State, but
Connor, you don't understand how much hatred that Michigan fans actually have for Ohio State fans.
I know, but that's reminding me of that Phillies fan, that Philadelphia Eagles fan, the fat. I guess the only best way I can describe him is he was a big fat black dude who, when Dak broke his ankle, he literally posted, he's like, "Fuck you, Dak! Haha, yeah, go Eagles and stuff." And everyone's just like, "Why are you making fun of that?"
You just don't get the rivalry, man. You don't get it. I mean, being a Ravens
but I would never. But even if I hate a team, I'm not going to wish injury upon another player. I'm not going to celebrate if he gets injured.
Connor, I get that, and I'm the same way. But Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan-Ohio State takes rivalry to a different level. It
I mean,
really
yes,
does.
I understand, and I
It really
agree, and
does.
it's true. So
I think
okay.
I think you guys are soft. Michael Penix could break his leg tomorrow. I'd be stoked.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. That's so fucking wrong.
Huck the Fuskies.
Give me Ohio State. They're gonna cover. They're actually gonna cover.
Man.
They're gonna cover that
Lucas,
15.5 point favorite.
you got.
Spread.
No, the only reason why I don't like it when I don't want other teams players to get hurt, obviously for the moral factor of it, but also because I like to beat teams at their best. So if they don't
I don't have a
player,
Trevor Lawrence situation with Notre Dame.
Yeah, so I don't like that stuff, but yeah, 15.5 points is kind of a lot. I think they could do it, and I think they will probably do it, but I'm surprised that they're so high just in this kind of game, especially at Penn State. They don't have the run game that Michigan has, so I don't know if they beat them as bad, but I definitely could see them winning by 20 points at least.
So I think Ohio State wins, but I don't think they cover. When they played Notre Dame at home, they didn't cover when they were, I believe it was 17.5 point favorites. So
is your daughter sleeping next to you right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking Ohio State.
That's just cute. That's just adorable.
So clean sweep for Ohio State.
Oh, there's a little tennis. It's so weird saying her name as Tennessee. Have you already come up with any cute little nicknames? Like, are you going to call her Tenny or Tessie or something? What?
Little 10.
Little T. I would call her probably Tessie. I'd probably call her Tessie. That's what I would probably call her, but that's cute.
Yeah.
So, congrats again.
Yeah.
The $1 ticket game. This is our worst game of the week. New Mexico State at UMass. And I think UMass has been ranked as the worst team in all.
And according to the AP poll, UMass is the worst team in all of college football. New Mexico
or at least
State.
in the FBS.
I wouldn't have known that unless you said that, and that's why I took New Mexico State.
But New Mexico State is literally only 3 spots ahead of them.
Oh,
So
but yeah, give me New Mexico State.
But yeah, I'm taking, F it. Give me the Minutemen at home.
The Minutemen at home.
I mean, clearly. I mean, I'm sure
this game might only be close for a minute. But
I'm sure the Minutemen is the nickname your fiance gave you, right, Ryan?
you're talking about 60 minutes, man.
No, it's 1 minute.
Right.
It's Minutemen. I'm sure
60 seconds, man.
Maybe,
and that's even pushing it.
Maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes if you're really pushing it is what you can is what you can get to, Ryan. Right?
All right.
Okay.
Wins against Stony Brook.
Phil's laughing his ass off. Okay, next Thursday's game, App State at Coastal. Even though we picked against them, I'm going to take Coastal.
Yeah, give me Coastal, the Fighting Sharks.
Yeah, because App State has just been all up and down the place. I don't know what to think. And then Oregon State, Friday night. This is actually a good game. We might have to.
The two teams that Lucas hates with a passion.
I know, but why are we not including this for next week? Because I feel like
doesn't matter, Connor. We're gonna do it every week.
Making this pick based on the pick'ems.
Doesn't matter.
Let's deal with it. It's gonna happen every week. I'm taking Oregon State.
Give me UW. Give me UW.
Give me the Beavs to Huck the Fuskies.
Fussy.
Okay. Me and Phil are taking Washington. So we are actually pretty short as usual, an hour and 35 minutes or so. So thanks to everyone for joining us. We actually got up to like 9 people watching at one point, which that's great.
And Connor, don't forget to mention our guest next week.
Yes, next week we will have our own special guest, a friend of Ryan, and the reason why Southern Miss is our team of the year.
Oh, no,
it's not that Cam.
Oh,
no,
wait, which Cam then? Then what Cam are you talking about? Then you have to.
I'll go ahead. I'll do it. So next week we will be having Cam McDaniel, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish running back. walk-on at Notre Dame, the most photogenic football player of all time.
Do you have the photo? Can you pull it up? Can we pull it up? I need to pull it up. He literally. I'm not sure if it's photogenic, but he looks like he's so disinterested. It's hilarious in the photo.
Hold on,
It's like it looks like he just scored a touchdown. And he's so disinterested. He's like, yeah, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
He's also like the nicest dude you will ever meet. Like he really is. Let me pull this up really quick. So yeah, here's that's literally the name of this entire thing.
What,
when
photogenic football player or something? He's also a very good-looking man, if I do say so myself.
There we go. He was scoring a touchdown against USC and looked so unimpressed.
Yeah, I mean, he does. He does.
But, yeah, so we will be having former Notre Dame walk-on starting running back Cam McDaniel on next week. Same time, he will be our guest picker for Clemson week. So make sure you guys tune in, tell all your friends. Phil, come in and talk crap because you're a Michigan fan. And then Cam can talk trash about how we beat Michigan the last 2 times before they ended the rivalry. But anyway, Connor, take us out.
Yep. So this has been the Week 0 podcast for Lucas, UCLA Bluets, McKnight, Fort Ryan, Irish still owns Vegas. Frello, I'm Connor. Fill me up with all the copium Doherty to deal with the heart palpitations that I'll be dealing with tonight watching both my teams play, especially knowing that the Ravens seem to enjoy blowing double-digit leads. They really should be 7-0 or better than 4-3, which is really bothersome, but whatever. So we'll find out. But, this has been the Week 0 podcast. We'll be back next week with a very special guest and stuff. And until then, have a happy and safe Halloween, guys.
Yep.
Peace.